Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Welcome back, everybody, to the Revert Radio Show. I'm your host, Abdullah, and we're back with a new show, new topic. Thank you very much for tuning in on 1440 AM in Detroit, WMKM, and for tuning in on YouTube, live stream, and wherever you are listening. Don't forget to go to the website, visit us whenever you can, revertworld.com. If you have not subscribed on our YouTube channel, please do so. If you haven't followed us on Facebook, please do so. And if you haven't followed us on Instagram, please do so. Thank you very much. We are here with a new topic, and this topic is something that everybody likes. I'm pretty sure if you happen to be able to travel the world right now, would you drop everything and go? Of course, everything paid. That would be lovely, won't it? Check out every site in the world. Go to the Wall of China, go to Paris, go to Rome, go to Jerusalem. I'd love to go there. Go to anywhere in the world that you'd like to go to. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? If you're watching on YouTube, what would be the one place that if you have been given a chance to go to, what would be that place that you want to go to? Tell me, please, in the comments below. And if you are listening to us on your radio, please call us at 313-871-9656. 313-871-9656. Let me know, where would you like to go to if you have been given that chance, that opportunity? Paid expenses, of course. Chilling in a 5-star hotel. Would you go to Mecca? Would you go to Jerusalem? Would you go to Africa? Would you go to Egypt? Check out those pyramids. Would you go to Italy? Drive you some sports cars over there? Would you go to Paris? Would you go to New York City? New York. I love that city. Would you go to LA? Where would you go? Please tell me. As you were watching yesterday, and if you haven't watched, please check it out. We talked about the city of prophets, the city of all religions, the city of Jerusalem, the beloved city to a lot of people, not only Muslims, but every religious person out there who knows about Jerusalem, who knows the scriptures, who knows the prophets. They love that city. That city is amazing, straight up. I've been there a few times, alhamdulillah, praise be to Allah. I've been to other places as well. But that city, man, you go in there, it's just another feeling, straight up. It's another feeling. Ask anybody that ever been there, and they'll tell you more about it. So today's topic is something that everybody can relate to. Everybody, for real. Traveling. Travel is something that we always do. We do that every day. We travel to go to work, travel to go to school, we travel to go just anywhere. We travel to go visit our people, to check out places, just to check them out. Just to go chill for a couple of days, get things off of our minds and kind of relax, take it easy, live another day with some nice scenery, and some nice people. Of course, you can't travel by yourself. You could travel by yourself, of course, but it's always better when you have somebody to share it with. Ain't it better to share the beautiful times with somebody? You can have all the beautiful times in the world, but if you don't have anybody to share it with, it's not as good. And to all our loved ones, we always like to share things with them because we love them. And we love to see the expression on their faces that they give us, and the good words that they give us after telling them the story of going to a nice place, maybe going to a beach or going to a historical area. Check out the old places where people have been there thousands of years ago and walked those streets and lived in these houses. Maybe the houses are not there anymore. Maybe other new houses are there, whatever. But it's just being there, that feeling, the spiritual feeling that you get when you go to these places is amazing. Spain is one of them. Spain was one of the places, or is one of the places I'd love to go to and check out. Not because of the modern sceneries that they have currently, but because of the history that it has in those cities. I'd like to go to Morocco, Algeria. I'd like to go. There's so many endless places that we can just stay all day talking about today, and finish up the show just naming the names of the cities that we'd like to go to. So when we talk about traveling, we got to keep in mind, as a Revert, as a Muslim, we have to keep in mind a few things. And as we always mentioned, and let me fix the camera real quick, as we always mentioned, that when we do things in our daily lives, we kind of try to interpret the Islam in it, whatever has been taught to us by the Quran, and whatever had been taught to us by the Hadith, the sayings and the actions of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. We try to embed those rules in our daily lives, because those rules are there for us, for the goodness of our life, for having a better life and having a better travel, having a better experience in whatever it is that we're doing. So as a traveler, Muslim traveler, when we get ready to travel, we think of things before we go, because we have a 5 daily prayer that we have to pray every day. We have to make wudu. We have to make sure we cleanse ourselves every day. We cleanse ourselves at least once before every prayer. Maybe we do it once before every 2 prayers, and we hold on to the wudu, and wudu is the cleansing and the purification before prayer, and it has to do with washing your hands, your face, your mouth, your nose, cleansing your ears, wiping your hair. So it's steps that we have to take in order for us to be purified. So we have to keep in mind, when we travel, I have to be able to pray, but before I pray, I have to make sure that I can perform wudu. I have to be able to perform the daily purification actions that I have to do before every prayer. Another thing that I have to keep in mind, am I going to have a place to pray upon? Something, a place that's clean, that's not impure. And then if I'm traveling with my kids, I got to make sure that, my kids are safe. My kids are in a good environment. That way I'm not worried about them being hurt or seeing bad things or ugly things or seeing unlawful things, being in places that I'm not very familiar with. I have to ask questions, do a little bit of research about that place that I'm going to, just so I am safe, my family is safe, and my traveling is nice and clean. So when we do approach the actual travel, and back in the day when people used to travel, they used to struggle. It was a time when traveling wasn't an easy thing to do. Traveling, you either travel on foot, or travel by riding a horse, or travel by riding a camel, or whatever other means of riding that you have in the country that you lived in. So in the Middle East, or in the Arabia or the desert areas, usually people travel by riding camels or riding horses or even riding donkeys. And those are the means that people had at the time. And then things started progressing and people started inventing new things and so on and so forth, until we got to the point where traveling has become a luxury. Sorta, almost you could say it's a luxury. And sometimes in some places and different occasions for certain people, traveling is a luxury by itself. It's, you get in a first class seat on an airplane, and you're like living, that 3-4 hours travel, whatever hours, whatever time is going to take you traveling that distance. You're living in a beautiful, time of your life that you probably never lived before. So traveling has become much easier. But Allah the Most High has given us a supplication. When we get up on the machine or the mean of traveling, He gave us a supplication to ponder upon as we make that supplication, and a praise that we also have to always realize that everything that has been invented and made possible for us to use in this life is the blessing of Allah the Most High. Allah the Most High, gave different people different abilities to invent and to work real hard and real strong and real good to make life easier for us. It might cost, but it's easy, and it makes things convenient for us. So the supplication for this travel that I want to share with you today, and we're going to talk a little bit about it and talk a little bit more about traveling in itself. Allah the Most High taught us by the means of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ to say this supplication every time we do travel. I'm going to say this in Arabic, and then I'm going to translate it in English to the best of the translation available to us. So Allah encouraged us by means of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ to say, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. سبحان الذي سخر لنا هذا وما كنا له مقرنين وإنا إلى ربنا لمنقلبون اللهم إنا نسألك في سفرنا هذا البر والتقوى ومن العمل ما ترضى اللهم هون علينا سفرنا هذا واطوي عنا بعده اللهم أنت الصاحب في السفر والخليفة في الأهل اللهم إني أعوذ بك من وعثاء السفر وكآبة المنظر وسوء المنقلب في المال والأهل. This is a great supplication, and it has a lot of meanings to it. SubhanAllah, just reading that supplication by itself brings a lot of attention to what we need to be looking at when we travel. So the meaning of that supplication that we just recited in Arabic, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, is the same phrase repeated 3 times, which is Allah is the most great, is the greatest, is the biggest. We repeat that 3 times. And then we say, glory to Him. And this is actually part of the Quran. This is 2 verses from the Quran that Allah mentioned in a surah where He says, glory is to Him who has provided this for us, though we could never have had it by our efforts. Surely unto our Lord we are returning. O Allah, we ask you on this journey for goodness and piety and for works that are pleasing to you. O Allah, lighten this journey for us and make its distance easy for us. O Allah, you are our companion on the road and the one in whose care we leave our family. O Allah, I seek refuge in you from this journey's hardships and from the wicked sights in store and from finding our family and property in misfortune upon returning. So this supplication can actually work for everyday life. 1,000 years ago, 1,000 years from now, and today, it doesn't matter what era, what age you are in, this supplication is amazing for you, or for me, or for all of us. So Allah the Most High explains to us and reminds us in this verse when He says, glory is to Him who has provided this for us, though we could never have had it by our efforts. By our efforts alone, without the help of Allah the Most High, we could never accomplish building a car, or building a subway, or building an airplane, or building any kind of mean of traveling. Even before those things were invented, those camels and those donkeys and those horses were not our making. Those are the creations of Allah the Most High. And those main means of travel are the inspiration for these people who invented the airplanes, the cars, the buses, the trains, and all that good stuff. Anytime you talk about cars, how many horsepower is it? Because it was based upon horses and how horses actually worked. That's when people started creating the horse and then the carriage behind it, and then the wheels came into action, and then motors came into action, and everything was based on the creation of Allah the Most High. It was inspired to us, the inventors. I'm not an inventor, but those are inventors that invented these things, looking at these animals that Allah the Most High has created. Look at the airplanes. Abbas bin Farnes was one of the people who invented flying. And there's other people who invented different airplanes. Look at the airplanes and how they fly. They were inspired by birds and how Allah the Most High created birds, even though you can't come close to perfection when it comes to airplanes compared with birds. But we're close enough to be able to fly and elevate and be able to take off and go to different distances that we weren't able to get to back before we had those means of travel. And then Allah the Most High says, "Oh Allah," or in this hadith, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ teaches us what to say. He says, "Oh Allah, we ask you on this journey for goodness." So every time you want to do something in your life, always ask Allah the Most High for goodness. Ask Him for good things on your journey. Everything is a journey. Everything is a journey. Right now we are in a journey, living this life, going to work, going to school, taking our kids to school. This is for the journey, for the hereafter, or for the end of your life, or whatever it is that you plan for. But there's a plan, there's a goal, and that goal, to get to that goal, there's a journey to it. You either fly to it, you drive to it, you walk to it, you run to it, whatever it is that you decided on using to get to that goal, you will take that journey to get to that goal. You are going to work hard, real hard, to get to that goal. Now, before we go any further, we want to remind us and, my viewers, my beloved viewers, the sponsors that we have for our shows. And this sponsor, I'm just going to tell you really my experience with these sponsors that I've been sponsored by, and I'm very pleased to be sponsored by these people. One of them is Al-Manasik, and these people, by the means of Allah, by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are one of the best people that I've dealt with throughout my life as far as business and stuff like that. And people that you deal with business, and they're strong with business, and they're trustworthy, and they're honest, and they're truthful, you like to tell people about them more and more and more. And when it comes to Hajj, one of the places, or one of the places that I'd love to go to which is Mecca and Medina, and this is the actual journey of Hajj. You want to make sure that you use the right means for it. You want to make sure you go with the trusted people. You want to make sure you go with the safest people, because it's a journey, and you're traveling outside your home, outside your homeland, leaving everybody behind, or maybe even taking your loved ones with you. You want to make sure that you're being taken care of. With Manasik, honestly, I could tell you with all ease in my heart that you are in trusted hands when you go with these people. By the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, these people will take care of you, will get you to the right destination correctly, and they'll help you perform the Hajj in the best way possible. Their prices are very modest. Honestly, their prices are very modest. They don't put a big, $1 million profit margin on their packages and stuff like that, so they can become millionaires over one package. No, they put a very modest profit margin. That way they are taken care of, you are taken care of, and you're not losing an arm and a leg for going to Hajj. Because this is a worship. This is not a gold mine that you want to take advantage of people with. You know what I'm saying? So the travel packages that they have are amazing. And another person or another business that I've actually would love to tell you guys about is Expert Accounting. Expert Accounting are a firm that I've been dealing with for, I don't know, maybe 10 years now or so. And honestly, with all honesty, I tried other people along my journey in business and work and all that good stuff. And you can't trust everybody when it comes to your taxes. When it comes to your taxes, especially right now, it's tax season, you got to take care of your taxes and stuff like that. You cannot trust anybody on your taxes. So you want to go with the experts. You want to go with people who are experienced in this, who are capable of taking care of business, who are able to do this correctly. Okay, so call them right now. If you're listening to the radio, call them at 313-581-8210. That's 313-581-8210. And go visit them. Free consultation. It won't cost you anything. And, you get yourself taken care of. And if you don't like the prices and you don't like their services, you can go try somebody else. But I tell you, hear it from somebody who have tried and tested this field so many times, and go check them out. By the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are going to be in good hands. And going back to the Hajj packages, I never mentioned the phone number. You could call Manasik at 877-468-6425. That's 877-468-6425. Or you can call them locally at 313-718-1733. 313-718-1733. Now we get back to our main topic of traveling. If you are just tuning in, you are listening to the Revert Radio Show. And we are here every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday talking about different things that we experience as people. And people are all different types. We happen to be, alhamdulillah, by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Muslims. We have reverted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have submitted our will to Allah the Most High. We worship Him alone with no partner, because He is the one and only deity that is worthy of being worshipped. And we're talking about traveling. And traveling, as a human being, traveling is a beloved thing to our hearts. We love to travel. I would drop anything right now, honestly, if I can go, take a tour around the world, check out every spot in the world. Of course, with all expenses paid. That'll be nice. That'll be nice. Inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may grant me and you what you wish for and what you would like to happen in your life. So, as we mentioned, that there's a supplication when we go and travel, and that supplication is a beautiful supplication that has takbir, has submission and knowing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the Most High and the greatest, the biggest. He is bigger than everything. He's bigger than all of us. He's greater than all of us. And then Allah the Most High reminds us to remember that we have been blessed with means of travel that we were not ever able to do on our own. We would never be able to do it on our own with no inspiration by Allah, with no the ability, because this brain that thinks and invents is a blessing from Allah. Allah given us this brain that we have to use every day to discuss things, to think about things, and to actually be able to invent, because humans are inventors in every way possible. There are inventors, but some are at higher levels than others, but there's inventions in every moment in your life. Even when you're a little baby, you start inventing things, even though those things for us as adults, when we see them, they don't mean nothing to us, but for the baby, it means a lot to them, because they invented a way of grabbing something and moving things and trying to get warmer, and those are inventions for them, because they were never taught these things. Even though if you teach them something, they will progress and actually invent even more and more. And that's why it's always encouraged to teach your kids things to make them think even broader and wider, and not keep them in a tunnel vision where you don't allow them to think outside the box and move forward in whatever it is that Allah has blessed them with. So I was listening to a TED Talk, which is very, very inspirational, and it made me think. Like this young lady that was talking, she said, my parents never actually bought me toys, but she said they bought me things to invent my own and create my own toys with. That was amazing, man. If we can do that to our kids, that'll be amazing. So back to our topic of traveling. The invention of these rides and these airplanes and all those things were inspired by Allah in the creation that He created for us, and in the brain that Allah has provided for us to invent with. And then in this supplication, we seek forgiveness from Allah. We ask Him to forgive our sins. We ask Him to help us in this journey. We ask Him to make this journey easy for us, because every journey could be hard. Every journey could be hard. It doesn't really necessarily have to be a luxury. There's a lot of journeys that are very hard still up to date. Today, you look at the not even third world countries. We're talking about here in America. You find people traveling from one place to another, walking, maybe riding a bike, maybe catching a bus. Even catching a bus nowadays, is very hard. And I really give shout outs to people who go to work every day, and because they don't have a car or whatever, they still go to work, and they have to take the bus, and they have to strive and struggle to get to work so they can go to the next step in their life, maybe buy a car, maybe move closer to work or whatever. So there's ways that today traveling is kind of hard still. So that's why we always use this supplication when we travel, because it is Allah that makes things easier for us in our travels. And then we always remember our family that we left behind us, that Allah, please protect them and make sure that, when we come back to our family, that we don't see them in a bad situation. There's another thing that we wanted to remember. Remembering that Allah the Most High encouraged us to travel. Allah the Most High encouraged us to travel because Allah didn't put everything in one place. He didn't put all signs and different examples in one place on this earth. This earth is big. So Allah the Most High gave us the opportunity to travel. If you are unable to worship Allah correctly, or maybe unable to learn things about Allah in the same city that you're in, Allah encourages you to travel. Go on to a different city. Check out what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has provided for those people over there. Maybe it's useful for you. Maybe the city that you're in, even though you were born there, even though you were raised there, maybe it doesn't have everything that you need in order for you to have a better life. So Allah gave you the opportunity to travel to the next city, maybe, or the next country, or the next continent. It's all good. Traveling is good. Allah the Most High says in Surah Al-An'am, travel in the land and see what was the end of those who rejected truth. This is another reason for travel. Traveling not only for tourism and having a good day or having a good week or having a good weekend or whatever. Also, you travel to different places to see what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has provided for those people and what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has had for the people that used to live in this area. Because people before us, a lot of people were transgressors against Allah the Most High. So Allah punished them in different ways. But the main idea behind traveling and seeing different places is that people die. People go and leave this earth and leave everything behind them. And one day, other people is going to come in our places and see our homes and see our cities and see, wonder, like, what happened to those people that used to live here. Also, seeking knowledge is a great way of traveling is a great way of seeking knowledge. So a lot of people don't have the scholars that they need in the places that they live in, so sometimes they have to travel. Also, to see the wonders that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created in this earth is a great way that would be discovered only by traveling. Traveling is a great way to see what Allah has created on this earth and to see how Allah really exists. For those people who don't think Allah or God really exists, you need to travel. You need to travel and go check out different places that Allah has created. None of this stuff, none of these great scenes that you're going to go and see have been created out of nothing, out of no created behind it. Just boom, all of a sudden, on all these great, beautiful places, all these beaches, all these jungles, all these forests, all these trees, all these mountains and stuff were created out of a boom. No, there is a creator behind it. So this is the way that people who are reverts, who are Muslims, think about traveling, and this is how we do. As a revert, as a Muslim, this is how we do when it comes to traveling. I know this is a big topic. I wish I can go longer. We might take another show talking about this, inshallah. But this is the time for us today, and I really hope that we come back tomorrow with a better day, better topic, with all of you, inshallah, with us. Thank you very much for joining us, and we wish you a great day. Thank you very much. Take care. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace.